In this example, we're going to go ahead and solve this equation for x, and you'll see that we have a couple of fractions to contend with. We have a negative 5 halves being multiplied by our number x, and that equals negative 3/4. So in order to isolate our variable x, we see that on the left side we have multiplication happening. So we could consider dividing both sides by this negative 5 halves. But remember that division by a fraction really is just multiplication by its reciprocal. So let's go ahead and multiply both sides of this equation by the reciprocal of this coefficient negative 5 halves, which will be negative 2/5. So I can use the multiplication property of equality here, multiply both sides of the equation by negative 2/5 to keep everything nice and equal. And what I see on the left side is the negatives cancel, and the 2's cancel, and the 5's cancel, and I have just this x all by itself on the left side. And over here on the right side of the equation, it looks like a negative times a negative. Well, that's going to cancel and be a positive. And then the 4 and the 2, it looks like I can divide a 2 out of each of those, and that will become a 2 and a 1 respectively. So when I do this multiplication on the right side, it looks like 3 times 1, which is 3, and then in the denominator, 2 times 5, which is 10. So it looks like the solution here, x equals 3/10, which is saying, of course, if we take our negative 5 halves and multiply it by 3/10, yes, indeed, we will get our negative 3/4. And this was made possible because the division by this fraction really was multiplication by the reciprocal, and we use the multiplication property of equality to get that done.